A nuchu, probably the translation would be doll, or more specifically, usually a medicine doll. So it would be used for various sort of healing ceremonies. It was considered to have the power to do so based upon what kind of energy it was representing, what kind of wood it was constructed from, what kind of potential deity or power figure it was representing. This big one here, and as you can see, it's very light. My shoulder's generally pretty sore, but I can pick this up because it's made out of balsa. So a typical figure here would be dressed in a long coat, has this very sharp nose, which is typical of the Cunas, and then has this ring on the top. But you'll also notice very prominently here is this big split. So that when I was in, I got in on the inland on the jungle, as opposed to out on the islands, I was able to buy it. Actually, I think I paid $1 for it, because the spirit had left it. This wood here being open meant whatever was the spirit had now escaped from it, and so it didn't have the potency. Now we're going to look at a couple of female figures. This one is a very prominent one here. This one came from Tigray Island, and the nele there, the medicine man who had it, was Nele Obaldia, and there's a picture of him in my book I Dreaming Mind, and this one is standing in the background, so I was able to buy this one from that nele. So this one is a female figure, and you can see it has this unusual quality that they would try to minimize sexual aspects. As I mentioned in one of the other videos, they would take the animals who became pregnant off the island so the children would not witness that. They were also modest about sexual prominence or displaying sexuality. So these are really two very small breasts here. Now what's unusual also here is that you can see it has this long pattern coming down here, which would be like the kerchief that they would wear, and it's colored up. But and you can see that there's an eye in each place. It's sort of a little like ruby with a little bit of silver around it, so that the eyes would be considered special that way when they went to a burial ceremony for a nele or medicine man like that. One of the things they would do would be to take the eyes out of it so that it wouldn't be able to go around and see.
Well, you really can't see that eye. Let me hold it up, stand it up. I can zoom in.
There's a little small red in there with a little bit of white.
Oh yeah, now I got it.
But we can see that even more.
Let me have it.
Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out while we're still with this one is the picture of the legs. As you can see, this is sort of a bent knee posture. There was a woman down in Panama who did a big study on postures of healing objects, and so she made a great deal of this bent knee one. One of the guys who was active in the Association for the Study of Dreams, Nick Brink, was particularly impressed with this, and so one day to try and help out with ASD, I offered to sell one of these online at the auction, and he, I think, spent by $150 to get it. He really wanted it, but I had two different ones, so I sent him the two to choose, but then it was clear he was so into them. I said, well, obviously, Nick, you're supposed to have the other one, so we'll just charge you for the one and you can have the two. And I talked to him recently at Virginia Beach, and he said, yes, whenever he used any of these kind of smaller ones that I had sold him, that he used them in the ceremonies, and that these were supposed to be very, very powerful with his bent leg posture for the healing. And so here we have one, it's a much more modern one, and I think it was intended much more for tourist sales. But we can see a woman in a full nele here, and with the bandana that they would coming down here in the back. But here you can see very clearly the color that gets on there. That's just a piece of glass in here for the eyes, and so that was their expression for dreaming, clear seeing at night while you were in the hammock. And so here with the glass in here for the eyes, this was intended to help facilitate getting clear visions of your dreams at night, and that this will help to give you the clear eye. So let's hold for a minute there and get these